Oh. All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is, again, a message for people that are not watching this live stream. We're just going to be talking a little bit about fishing tonight, a little bit about dynamic lures, and that's a general hangout. This is going to be one second to last live stream we do before we start uploading again. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, Royce, how we doing, man? Who are you fishing? What's going on? Good to hear from you. I'm just chilling. I actually just ran through the door. I usually try to get this going a little bit earlier, but I just ran through the door from basketball. I kind of got home late. So usually I have a little bit more time to set this stuff up, but didn't have much time today. I literally just ran through the door. Oh, still kind of dying from sweating. So if you guys just want to hang out for 1 second, I'll be right back. I got to grab a water. Whew. All right. Outdoors with Jordan, what's going on? Lance Holman, what's going on? It's not going to be a very long one tonight, guys. It's going to be a hangout. This is going to be the second to last live stream we do before I get back to doing regular uploads. My computer should be in next week, so I'm pretty excited. How are you guys all doing? Just got to pull up some stuff here. Oh, I'm not expecting too much of a big turnout tonight either, just because I kind of announced that we were doing it about 4 hours ago. So we'll see, and we'll wait for a couple people to file in, and then we'll just kind of talk about some fishing tournament stuff we're going to get into, the Western Slow Fishing Report, and kind of, again, just a general hangout. Just getting off work myself, man. Awesome, Lance. I know the feeling. I had to get summer school set up all day today for the IT stuff, and we usually have a week to do it, and we only had 1 day to do it this year. So got that all done and ran right into basketball training. So I'm dying. How's the fishing been for everybody, though? Over the last 3 weeks, as far as fishing goes, I have not been fishing too much. I've been more taking a break and going to be going really hard this weekend because we have a big fishing tournament this weekend. Oh, 7:05. Again, I'm not expecting a giant turnout tonight, and I'm sure a lot of people are kind of getting tired of these weekly live streams. So let's just get into what we're talking about tonight. June 10th through the 14th, I'm going to be in Creede, Colorado at Road Canyon Reservoir. Nice. Never been there. So you have to let me know how that goes, Lance. Hey, Jesus, welcome to the live stream, man. Thanks for stopping in. I'm just about to get into some fishing tournaments we're going to be getting into. So I know a handful of you guys that are in here. I know We Fishing's not, but I know everybody. I know a lot of other people, at least in the general area. So if you guys are around Rangeley this weekend, it's the 5th and the 6th, I believe. Yeah, the 5th and the 6th is that big 30-hour multi-species tournament that we do every year. This is going to be our 4th year doing it. No, it's going to be our 3rd year doing it. And we've taken 2nd each time, so we're really hoping that we can take the money home this time. We're going to be doing some strategic camping, all right? We're going to be doing some strategic camping, so we don't have to really leave the reservoir too much. And we're planning on fishing most of the 30 hours. It's going to wear us out, and I'm going to be dead by the end of the weekend. But we're planning on fishing at least 28 of those 30 hours. We're going to be doing it in shifts if we have to, but we're always going to have somebody in the water. So I'm pretty pumped for that. I love that tournament. I'm not a big carp or cat fisherman. As you guys probably know, I do a lot of bass fishing, a lot of trout fishing, a lot of panfish fishing. But when it comes to carp and catfish, that's not something I get into too much, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. But it's a fun switch up. So I'm pretty excited for that. I live in Texas, and that's my spot when I go to Colorado. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, gosh, me and Remy have been talking about it a lot too. We are excited to get out and start getting into more territories. I mean, we want to hit more stuff on the flat tops, more stuff on the Front Range, Northern Colorado, Southern Colorado, a lot of stuff in Western Colorado still we haven't hit, and I'm more than eager to start getting back into that. The Grand Mesa is thawing out. I know there's some people up there fishing at some of the 9K stuff. There might still be a little bit of ice, if that, on some of the 10K stuff, but I'm betting within the next, if it's still there in the next week, it's going to be clear. So I'm pretty pumped to start getting some giant trout up on the Mesa. So Lance, since you're in Texas, I mean, do you do a lot of bass fishing? I know that bass fishing is pretty huge down there in Texas. I know several people from Texas that love the bass fishing down there. Where else is everybody from that's here in the chat right now? I want to go to Mesa, but that's like 12 to 14 hours away. Understandable. If that, that would be a bit of a drive. But is anybody like that's in here? Is anybody on like any border states? Like Wyoming, Utah, I guess technically Arizona, New Mexico, Kansas, any of those? And no, my lake is one of the top 10 walleye lakes in the country. That's awesome. I would love to get into some more walleye fishing. Our area out here in Western Colorado is not good walleye fishing. I just fish walleye, crappie, and catfish. Hey, all really good fried food right there. I wouldn't be upset about doing that. I know you're in Canada, we fish, and I know you're in Canada. One of these days, if I can ever get doing this full time, I'd love to get up there and do some fishing with you, man. That'd be super fun. Or we can meet at that we talked about. I think we talked about this in like January. We can get up to is it Cascade Lake in Idaho? It's a giant perch. But yeah, we should definitely meet up there sometimes too. Just finally got him to commit to it. What are you talking about, Curtis? Gotta go, Royce. Okay, Royce, well, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. Again, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of craziness tonight. We're probably going to be doing a half-hour live stream tonight. And then next week is going to be the last live stream I do, at least until August, maybe even September, since I did so many in a row for you guys, or just for myself too and for the channel, just so I had some type of content for you. But yeah, after this week and next week's live stream, I'm not going to be doing a live stream again for a while. Maybe at the 2-year point, if we can keep that. So if any of you guys weren't in here for the last live stream, if we can get to 4,000 subs by our 2-year point, I'm going to do another giveaway, another big giveaway. 4,000 subs by the 25th of July. If we can get there, then we'll do another giveaway for sure. And then we're going to do another big giveaway at the 5K point. So if we can get there, we can do 2 giveaways within 1,000 subs and then another 1,000 subs. So if you guys know people that you want to share this with, or you know people that can sub, you got work accounts, anything you guys want. I mean, the more subs we get in here, the faster we can start doing more giveaways, more stuff I can give back to you guys. So, I mean, you guys do a lot so much for me already with the views. But yeah, if you guys know anybody else that wants to watch this stuff, definitely let them know. Definitely let them know. Read my previous message. I got out bass fishing right now, and this bass on a bed ate my underspin like 8 times. Oh, nice. And you got him? That's awesome, man. That's sweet that you're hanging out while fishing. Yes, Cascade. Oh, yeah, dude. We'll definitely have to meet there sometime. That's like on our bucket list to fish that, and it's not super far away. It'd be a trip for sure, but it wouldn't be like terrible drive for us. So I go to Colorado like 4 times a year for trout. I've only caught rainbow and brooks, but want to get in some more species. Yeah, man, you got to get into some big browns out here, and you got to get into some big tigers out here. And I don't know how the lake trout fishing is in Texas. I can't imagine it's too great, but there's some big lakers out here too. So yeah, pretty much any of the trout species. If you know where to go, you can get some freaking lunkers. Just saying hi and smashing the like button. I'm driving and listening. Adventures in bass fishing with TK Heaven. I appreciate you stopping in, man. Thanks for being such a consistent viewer in these live streams. I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough for that, man. I really appreciate it. I know you're, God, I want to say you're either in Illinois or Michigan. All right. I know you're somewhere in the Midwest, though, but I appreciate you tuning in, man. I really do. Guggen, man, what's going on, dude? You're the man, dude. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. K-Fly just got on. Any news from Dynamic Lures? Not really super news. I actually have this picture of the ghost brown trout that I don't think I've shown you guys. So let me show you guys that real quick. Thanks for asking. And we'll get into a little bit of other stuff with Dynamic Lures, but I'm going to try to save a lot of that for next week so I have a little bit more sustenance for you guys on the live stream. I'm pulling up Brian's text. All right, you guys. So this is the ghost brown. This is what's going to look like. In the back part, you can obviously change out the treble, but I like that little feather. Come on, focus in. There it is. Look at that, you guys. I'm going to post that on my social media, but that's going to be the ghost brown when we release it. I don't know about you guys, and how much you guys use the brown trout HD, but it's one of my favorites. It's probably, if not, it's like my go-to, if not my second go-to. The Ghost Cutthroat is kind of tied with it, and the HD Natural is not far behind. But that Ghost Brown, me and the lead field tester are so excited for that. We think that's going to break some PBs. So that's the first big news from Dynamic Lures, I guess you could say. And then I talked about this briefly in the giveaway live stream, I think, or the one before that, but there's a lot of new products coming out from them down the road, and I'll get into those here in a second. Illinois. Okay, awesome. I figured it was one of those. I'm longboarding back from fishing right now, so I'll be back soon. Hey, no worries, Curtis. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, darn, the Ghost Brown looks bomb. Dude, it's going to look so – dude, I'm so pumped for it, man. When he releases that, he told me, I mean, that hopefully me and the lead tester get it right away. But, yeah, I'm super pumped to test it, and I think I'm going to get some PBs on that. That's damn sick. Also flying here in 5 minutes, so lose service. Hey, no worries. Awesome. Need to add that to my arsenal. Yeah. So, guys, they're going to have that. As you guys know, the Z-Spec should be coming out soon if it's not already. I've just been kind of out of place with all that stuff just because I haven't been uploading or fishing. But so we got a big jerkbait coming out. We got that Ghost Brown coming out. And there's some really, really fun stuff that he's going to be coming out with, too, that's just meant for trout. So any of you guys that are bass fishermen, I'm sure have used what's called a buzz bait. Okay. It's it's a top water type lure, and you're kind of making a lot of noise in the top water column there. And he's designed a really, really small one. Okay. Again, this is all being tested in our waters here in Colorado. But if you guys have ever been up in like the 11K range or any of that higher elevation stuff, I'm sure you guys have noticed dragonflies or damselflies during specific times of the year. Really, they've hatched and they're flying all over the dang place. Okay, they're all over the water. And during that time, Brian has been testing this little super small buzzbait for trout only, and he said it's insane the results he's been getting. So that's going to be another one coming out, you guys. A trout buzzbait. It's going to be really sweet. There's going to be a trout creek fishing lure. That's going to be really awesome. Really, really tiny. Back treble only. There's a lot of fun stuff coming out. Let me catch up some more comments here. My buddy's dad and friend brought in 8 Lakers out here on over the past weekend, just jigging, I believe. Oh, absolutely. Any of those Great Lakes house enormous fish. Slade, you might remember this. I think you're actually still living out here in Colorado when it happened, but it was remember the huge ice storm that it was a really bad freeze up north. I think this was like 8 or 9 years ago. Might have even been a little bit less, but there was people out on Lake Superior able to get miles out more than they've ever been, and they were just pulling out monsters after monster. It was insane the lake trout they were getting. So I believe that. I only bottom fish with salmon eggs, worms, or power bait on crappie rig. Hey, whatever works. Safe travels, Cole. Definitely love Ghost Cut. Super excited to try the Ghost Brown. Oh, I know, dude. I'm probably just gonna be throwing the Ghost Brown when I get it, like for an entire trip at least. I'm really pumped about that. It's gonna be sweet. I've actually caught brown trout before on topwater frogs just messing around. That's awesome. And Remy's done that too. Catching small little woods frogs up there at Grand Mesa. He's tossed them on a hook and thrown them out there, and he's caught trout with them too. So I'm betting that little itty bitty frog baits would work really well. I should try that. Try to get like a really small frog bait and try to do an episode on that. That'd be pretty fun. Has the bite slowed down? Has not been able to fish in the rivers for 3 weeks. I don't think so. I think it really depends on what you're using. This last weekend, or not Memorial Weekend, which was last week, the weekend before that, and the rivers up here have been mud. All right. Me and my uncles went out and we killed it. We absolutely slayed it. I was using the 9 Mile Goby. Me and my dad caught a whole bunch. My uncle was using, it was a Rapala version, but you know, the dynamic J spec where it has the red face and the chartreuse body. All right. I actually think I have it here. Yeah, this one. This red face and chartreuse body here. He was using that exact same pattern, and the water was muddy as heck. I mean, barely any visibility, maybe 2 inches, if that, maybe an inch. And he caught like 8 fish, and he was only there for like 2 hours. So I really think I was going to say maybe try something darker, but then my uncle's out here throwing this super light chartreuse with the red face on it and slaying it. So, and the other thing is my dad went out last night. My dad went out last night and caught 9 fish in an hour and a half. And he kept a couple of them. And just like the ones he kept the other week, all of their stomachs are completely empty. he goes all deep into it too, kind of like I do. And if I catch a fish and eat it, he'll check out the guts and see what they've been eating. He said all of their stomachs are just completely empty. Everyone that he actually gutted. So I think a big profile like the J-Spec, which is what he's been using, is a great call right now. Find some deeper current. He said all the action for him has been in the side current. So try some of that out. Try some bigger profiles and see what that does for you. I want to go up there to the Mesa. I don't know where to go, though. Battlement, maybe. It depends on what you're looking for, Lance. But general rule up in the Mesa, I mean, you can always catch fish in any of the lakes. There's lots of fish up there. But the better, bigger fish, the deeper you go, generally just kind of like anything in the mountains, the better the fishing is typically going to be. You will run into some stuff this year, probably, especially if they refilled some of the lakes, where there was a handful of them up there that were definitely winter killed due to them just being completely drained because of the drought last year, or being so low that with the ice that they get up there, there's a guarantee there's no fish that lived. One of the lakes actually that I love to fish for tiger trout, not the really, really good one, but one of the ones that we've actually caught MAs out of, that lake completely died. So that was really sad. And tiger trout grow super slow. From the research that I've done when it comes to tiger trout, you guys, I don't know if you know this, and this is just what I've read. Tiger trout are really, really slow growing. Okay. I think what I read was a 9-incher. It can take it up to 3 years for it to get to 16. All right. That's a really long time. So if a lake dies and they're stocking putting these fingerlings in there, it's going to take a while for an MA to get that big in there again. So that's really a bummer too. So you have to kind of watch out for that too when you're up there. I would like, if you're up there and it's a kind of like a prime time moment, you got a handful of people fishing and no one's getting any bites for hours, then it's either the lake is just full of fish that are super fat and not biting, which could happen, which isn't as common, or it's dead. So just keep a lookout for the water levels. Matthew Romalia, what I miss? Nothing crazy, man. We're just more or less doing a hangout. I talked about more stuff coming out from Dynamic Lures, showed the Ghost Brown Trout picture. Talked about a tournament that I'm going to be doing this weekend. For those of you that are new in here right now, I have a 30-hour fishing tournament coming up, the same one that I posted on the channel before. Going to be fun. This is actually, too, this weekend, the first time that Sam's going to be in a video in a really long time. The last time that Sam was in a video was when she went ice fishing with her mom and took her out to Harvey Gap catch on perch, the little catch and cook on the ice. That was, I think she recorded that in like late January, early February, but we released it in February. So she hasn't been on a video in a really long time, and she's really upset about that. So this weekend when we film, we are going to have Sam back for the tournament, just like we did for our first video. So it'll be me, Remy, Sam, and our buddy Chance. All right, our buddy Chance. He was in our last big tournament with us, and we're really going to be going for gold. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's what you missed. Tiger cuts, anything I got, and so I can get into some wild spots. And damn, it sucks yeah, I know. I was really upset about that too. And we knew this because on early ice, we went out there. My buddy Jeremy Tanner, Coach Tanner, he went out there and he took a picture of it. And the picture is stupid. It's hilarious. And he said I would have probably laughed at him and fallen over if I would have showed up that day. After he showed me the picture, I would have. He went around the entire flipping lake, you guys. The entire lake. He went around the entire thing and drilled holes. Middle, sides, everywhere. Most depth he could find. This was early ice. All right. This was about 5 inches of ice. Was about 4.5 feet of water. All right. That lake, because I fished it multiple times, that lake, okay, easily gets over 30 inches of ice. All right. I will be very surprised if anything's living in there. And the 4 feet that he found is in this one little spot, and it's a really small spot. He said most of the stuff was about 2 feet. So yeah, I mean, there's a chance that some of them live, but I'm betting most of them died. So if I go back to that lake, it's just going to be stalker. It's not the main MA lake. No, not the one where Remy's the Tiger King at. No, that lake is actually really deep. We had a buddy. We have a couple of diehard buddies. Like, we haven't done this on the channel yet, but we have some diehard buddies that walk so far back into some of these lakes in the middle of winter, starting at like 3 a.m, and they only get to fish for a little bit because they're walking back there, and they have to make sure they leave some good amount of time allocated to get out. But yeah, they said that where they were fishing, and that was not even in the middle of the lake. They're fishing still in like 15 feet deep of water. So those lakes are all good. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And those are the lakes that we're probably going to be hitting first for camping. and then trying to get in some other ones to do some catch and cooks with brook trout while out camping as well, since we haven't really done any really catch and cooks while out camping with the brookies. Hitting some new lakes for you guys as well. There's still so many lakes that we haven't hit up there in the Mesa that we haven't put on the channel, that we haven't even fished, period. So there's a lot of that stuff too. I'm just super excited to get back into fishing again, and recording, I should say, because we have done some fishing. But that's the other thing too. So I have now 3 videos that are from an earlier date than when I start uploading again. They're going to be earlier dated videos. So I'll make sure to include the date on the intro when I recorded those ones. But I'm probably going to start off with the tournament one, because that'll be the freshest, and just do a special intro saying, hey, we're back, all that type of stuff. And then we'll be back to a regular upload schedule of Tuesdays and Thursdays every week. And that'll be fun stuff, because once that starts, not only will we be starting to branch out again and hit more lakes, doing more camping and doing all kinds of fun stuff, we're going to be really trying to get out to that Front Range area as part of that branching out, and really trying to fish with a lot of you subs. Probably we're going to try to at least do it once a month, maybe once every 2 months, but we do fish a lot, and I know there's a lot of you guys too in my area, so definitely will be down with that. Bro, I'm about that life. Let's go. Yeah, a couple of the guys that do it are old retired Marines, so if you can expect what their attitude's like with that stuff, it's pretty funny. But at the same time, some of those lakes can get so finicky. My buddy that does it, one of my buddies that does it, he jokes all the time, because he says he's lost friends hiking them back in there, because it's a grueling, tough hike. You're freezing, so you got to make sure you're going at a good pace, so you're not drop dead sweating. Because once you start sweating it up there and it's freezing and windy, you can really put yourself at risk. So you got to go at a good pace to not completely overwork yourself. And then you have a really good chance of getting skunked. There's nothing worse than doing a grueling trip, get skunked, and then have to go like uphill like miles and miles back. It can be pretty brutal. So yeah, it's one of those trips that if we're going to do that, I think we're going to try to rent some snowmobiles. So if we do have to wind up doing that hike way back there, that we don't get skunked and wind up hitting ourselves for it. But yeah, you guys, let's see where else we're at. Are you ever about that spinner life? Robert Archuleta, are you talking about like spinners, like rooster tail type stuff, like Panther Martin type spinners? Or are you talking about spinning gear? I just want to make sure I'm answering that correctly, buddy. Ethan Ringer, what's up, man? Welcome to the live stream. I'm just getting caught up on comments. Just kind of been talking a whole bunch of BS. Talking with dynamic lure stuff, upcoming fishing tournaments. Speaking of which, Ethan, are you and Hayden going to be going to that tournament this weekend? I'm taking a huge fishing trip later this month and want to hit the Colorado right around Glowing Springs. Do you have any spot and lure recommendations? Well, Matthew Romalia, if I had a recommendation for lures, I would say dynamic lures. All right. If you're going to be going later this month, hopefully most of the runoff's gone. You're going to be dealing with some pretty rough water. Make sure you have some J specs in your arsenal. Make sure you have some different colors in your arsenal too. That's the big thing. Otherwise, I always say this, and I truly mean it. Okay. Anywhere from Silt all the way up to Glenwood, going over back to Dotsero through into the Eagle. And then if you go to Glenwood and go south down the Fork into the Frying Pan, the Crystal, all of that is outstanding water. There's so many good spots, so many runs, so many holes, so many pockets. There's just great water all around. I have some of my main spots, but once we start recording, I'm going to make a point to kind of bounce more around on the rivers and show you guys that you can just catch fish anywhere in this area. It's just such good trout fishing. That is my favorite type of fishing by far. The hiking, I'm assuming you mean, but yeah, I mean, that can be some fun stuff. We took some big trips before, but that one to get some of those lakes way back there is tough. So we'll see. I was in the Army for 6 years, hiked the mountains of Afghanistan, man. I'll sleep up there for days. Lance, you and a couple of my older buddies might be best friends then. Yeah, because they love that type of stuff. How's the runoff settled down yet? No, K-Fly. We are probably in the middle of peak runoff right now. It is chocolate milk out here. It is rough water. It is stuff that you got to watch out for when you're stepping into the water with your waders these days, because everything where we're standing on those big boulders down here, that's all underneath the water now. So when me and my dad went, we almost went under our waders. The water went over our waders a couple of times, so we stepped into some holes. So got to be careful with that. The runoff is still K-Fly in my area, at least. It's going hard. It's going hard. I think the people I talked to said peak runoff was estimated to be today or tomorrow. Texas Reeling Fishing, what up, man? Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you've been slaying some bass. Spinners, PMS, or RTS? I'm not sure what those what that means, Archuleta. If you're talking about the lures or if you're talking about the gear. And obviously, I'm not that well versed in the terminology when it comes to that. What tournament, Ethan? The big 30-hour tournament is this weekend. Yeah, Ethan, just so you know. Sounds good. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah, definitely, Matt. I hope I sent you a message, too. I haven't checked my DM since this afternoon, but, yeah, shoot me your address if you haven't already so I can send you your package. Emilio Garcia, missed you at practice tonight, man. I heard your ankle's all messed up, but thanks for being here. I yelled at everybody to get more people into the gym. There was like 3 of you varsity guys that night. It really pissed me off, actually. One slow V-dub. Yo, shout out from Longmont. Yo, what up, man? I got to make it out that way and get in some bass. Guggen, man, the runoff hits the Colorado in this area pretty hard at Matthew. Yeah, it does hit pretty hard. But you can still get great fish. I did an episode last year during the middle of runoff when it was just super chocolate milk water. We got an MA. We got some in the high teens. You just got to be patient, work that side current, and not be afraid to get in the water a little bit. All right, same concept, you know. You don't want to be on the bank when the high runoff's coming because then you're just going to hit weeds and it's going to be bad. You want to get out in the water a little bit, have a 7-foot plus pole, stick that thing out there. Then you get a better retrieval angle going up that side. I'm impressed by the average size trout you catch in the Colorado. Seems like gold medal. Should be a gold. Should be glad it's not designated as such, though, because then hordes of fishermen would come. Yeah, my dad and me talk about that all the time. We catch the cookie cutter size fish that we catch out of our section of the Colorado is always so good. I'm actually pretty amazed that we don't get any either. That's not a gold medal water either. And that's the funny thing, too. My dad fishes just as much, if not more than I do, and I fish a lot. And he takes pictures with me of all the time. And I wish we could get one on film for him, but he catches master angler fish so much. He catches M.A. Browns like every other day because he just fishes so much. So I'm actually kind of impressed that it's not a gold medal either. Have you done any good catfishing before? Well, Eris Anderson, it depends on what you mean by good catfishing. I know there's a lot of people, especially on YouTube, that catch enormous catfish, giant catfish. I'd like to say I'm that guy, but I'm not. I'm certainly not that guy. My PB catfish of any species is like 4.5, 5 pounds. All right. I've only caught small catfish, and those have been channel catfish. It's just not something that I focus on a lot of. And that is something that Remy talks about getting for the channel, is seeing if we can lay into a giant carp or a giant catfish for you guys. And we're going to try this year, but it's not our typical thing now. But we definitely get us some good quality, good quantity. Like this tournament we're doing, we're going to catch 1,000 catfish, but they're all going to be like small little bullheads. So nothing impressive. There's a lake near Crete I go to called Opal, and it's like a 4-mile hike. Last time I went up there, there were signs posted saying beware of mountain lions. Yeah, you always got to beware of those mountain lions out here. They're around. When I was a teenager doing stupid teenage stuff like sneaking out of my house and stuff when I was because I live up in the mountains, I've seen mountain lions running around and stuff. So, yeah, it can be a pretty scary thing. But for the most part, they're not going to mess with you, especially if you're with another person. Googie Man, yeah, I'm trying to hit a different ton of waters. It's right in the middle of the trip, so I'd like to try it. Matthew, where else are you going to be going in Colorado, if you don't mind sharing? Yeah, I screwed it up pretty good. Just icing and stuff, probably be there next week. Oh, you're good, man. We're going to be doing an alumni run on Thursday if you're available. If you're not, obviously don't push your ankle for an alumni game, but it'll be me and Garrett and I think Luis and Joe and other people. So it should be good times. If you can make it, definitely do. There's big carp up here in Longmont too, bro. Let me know. Definitely, man. Longmont is one of those areas that I definitely have several of you guys hit me up from that area. And when I do make it out to Longmont, I'll have to make it a weekend thing so I can fish with a couple of you guys. Do like a morning bite with one of you guys, afternoon bite with another, then the next day do the same thing or something. Because there's a lot of you guys up in that area. I want to see more of that river spot with the cats and smallies. I bet there are some giant catfish mixing with the cookie cutters. There are, Aaron. The reason why we went up there too was not just to get into a secluded place, was because there are giant catfish up there. The people that told us about it have showed us pictures, and they're huge ones, dude. They're freaking they're enormous. But the big appeal to going up there is that's, I guess, one of the better spots in the area, and if not one of the better spots in the state, I guess. And that's just hearsay. This is from the people saying it, where you can catch enormous pike minnow. The guy that I know, the last time he was there, they broke off of one and saw it, and they safely estimate. They said this would be safely estimating. They told me that they could fit a cantaloupe in its mouth. They said that there are enormous, like pioneer-sized pike minnow down there, and they said they only can get them on like giant jerk baits. That's the only thing they go for. They don't go for any of the bottom fishing stuff. So when we go out there this summer, I'm going to spend a whole day probably fishing Z specs and J specs and really trying to get one of those giant pike minnow to bite. I don't know about line sensitivity with pike minnow though. Like, are they like trout? You know, are they like bass where they don't care as much? Because then if they are finicky toward line, then it comes down to having to balance that proper line strength so I can wrench a little bit. That area, if you guys watch the video, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is so much logs and crap underneath that water. We were losing lures and bottom fishing rigs left and right. So I don't want to have really small pound tests, hook into a giant pike minnow, it dives under a log or something, I just lose it. That would make me so sad. So that's the big appeal of going up there, is trying to get a pioneer sized pike minnow, like a 5-footer. That's the goal. So I guess they're there. They've been seen, and they've broken off of things with freaking like 50-pound braid. So I mean, there's enormous fish in there. We just got to find them. It's an awesome place too, because no one's there. It's just we're gonna try to go maybe a little bit earlier this year, so there's not a fire ban. All right, where are we at? I got a 13-pound Laker Granby 2 weeks ago off the shore. Oh my gosh, that's gross, Ben. That's sweet, dude. I'm super pumped for you. I'm jealous and pumped for you, dude. I want to get into a big Laker off the shore. I've never caught a Laker off the shore. That's something I've been planning on doing for like a year and a half, and every time that season comes around, I just haven't done it. So I got to get into that. I'm starting up north, trying to hit the North Platte, nice, for a bit, then heading west towards Steamboat. There you go. There's some good water around Steamboat. Down towards the Colorado and Eagle. That's a good one. Okay, me and we did a collab that we hadn't released yet. That was going to be one before my computer broke. We hit the Colorado and the Eagle. So I can tell you right now, that's some good stuff. Back east to the Blue, down to the South Park in the yard. Dude, awesome, man. You're going to be hitting some really good water, Matt. I might just come bomb your trip, dude, and just fish with you the whole time. I don't know. There's a lot of water that I want to hit too that you're going to be hitting. So that's a really cool stuff, man. I always travel with my Dane Pitbull mix and a 40 cal. Hey, I hear you there. Remy never travels without his pistol too, when we're going deep back in the mountains, especially. I think I told this like 5 live streams ago, but the last camping we did up there, we had like a group of, it was the craziest thing. We weren't scared because it was just coyotes, but they were probably fighting, no joke, like 10 yards away from the tent. You could hear their footsteps, everything. They were going crazy. And then all of a sudden, one of them just started yipping super loud, like it just got effed up really bad, ran off in the bushes, all of them chased it, then it just pin drop silent. It was the craziest thing, dude, because it sounded like it was happening right like 2 feet away from me. It was insane. It was so loud. Funniest thing, me and Remy woke up and we're like, holy shit, talking to each other. And then Sam slept through the whole thing. She didn't even realize it happened. Is there a difference between dynamic lures and Rapala lures as far as performance? Aris Anderson, that depends. Now, before I started this channel, I started using dynamic lures really heavy. And before that, I was using floating Rapalas, floating jointed Rapalas, and the Countdown Rapala series, okay? Using a mixture of those 3 different patterns, Brooks, Browns, Rainbows, all kinds of different stuff, more flagrant patterns. And I found throughout using dynamic lures over the course of a year, and me, Remy, and our ex-teammate Jason at the time, we did so much side-by-side testing, so much over the course of a year. And 9 times out of 10, the dynamic lures outfished the Rapala lures. It was insane. And my buddy Jason, who liked to buy more cheaper stuff, always was kind of like, okay, yeah, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not joking you. He switched to the brown trout dynamic lures, and on his second cast, caught his PB rainbow. 5 casts later, caught his PB brown. So through testing with quantity, through testing with quality, it seems that the dynamic lures outperforms, at least in my area. So, and that's also another thing that Brian always wants me to touch on too. And I think it's a really good point to touch on. I've said it before and I'll say it again, just really briefly. All Rapala is being tested at the trout meccas of the world. Okay. That's being tested in New Zealand. Those things are being tested in Finland, Sweden, Canada. Okay. Those were the primary testings of Rapalas are going. Okay. Dynamic lures, 99% of the testing is done in Utah and Colorado. A lot of it's done in Colorado. Okay. So if it's being launched and released here, then it had really good results in testing and it's working in some bodies of water. Dynamic lures used to have an adjustable weight jerkbait. I don't think they sell it anymore. They did years ago. And that lure was literally designed to catch fish at Rifle Gap. That wasn't advertised that way, but Brian told me that with all the different types of shelving and different types of layouts of Rifle Gap, he said he'd be going to one cove, different one cove, a different one. And the way that he said he was getting fish was just with a specific jerk fishing technique. And he said that he was tired of throwing on split shot or different types of retying on a jerk bait or grabbing a different rod because he didn't bring a lot of rods with him like some bass fishermen do. So he made that adjustable weight one just for fishing Rifle Gap, and he perfected it and said he always was catching pike, always was catching some bass out there, catching walleye with it even. So you have to keep that in mind too. Dynamic lures is being tested in our backyard. So that's a big selling point to me and why it works well. So sort of a long answer, Eric. That's that. Damn, pike minnow are so cool. They really are. And I want to get a big one. I got to make it. Oh, Ethan, that sucks. Maybe you can make the smaller one and then I'm betting we're not going to have a big COVID prevention this year like we did last year. Aiden Pesca y Mas. Hello, friend. Greetings and blessings. Hola, amigos. Saludos desde Florida. Awesome, man. Glad to have you here. Always happy when people can show up, especially if they're not here from Colorado. I really appreciate all you guys, especially for tuning in from Eastern time zone. So thank you for stopping in. Yo, 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 Joshua Zell. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. Ben Barrows. We are heading back to Granby Sunday camping for 4 days. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, I want to camp so bad. I'm going to be camping this weekend, but it's not going to be like in the mountains, majestic camping. It's going to be us just sleeping on a cot and grinding out a fishing tournament. Yeah, I've been researching for the trip for about 4 months, planning specific spots, campsites, and all that. I'm so anxious to get out there. So you're going to crush it. You're definitely going to crush it. Definitely give me that address if you haven't already so I can get you your prize so you got some more weapons into your arsenal for catching these fish. Dynamic lures are better in most situations, in my opinion. However, the X-Wrap is excellent for big browns. X-Wrap is good. I definitely like the X-Wrap. I still use Rapala stuff too, don't get me wrong. But more of the Rapala stuff I'm buying is typically if I'm using it for bass or walleye, and it's like smaller jerk baits and stuff like that. The Ripstop, I really, really, really like the Ripstop for smallmouth from Rapala. That's a really great lure. So, I mean, I still use it, but I mostly feature dynamic lures. One, because it just works so well. I've used it for so long. And then two, I'm sponsored by them too. So I got to push that, you know what I mean? Rem Dog seems cool as a fan. I'd love to come fish with y'all guys sometime. Dude, he is. Yeah, Rem's the man. I met Remy about 8 years ago at this point, maybe 7. And yeah, we just clicked right away. We're into the same stuff. We love fishing, like being outdoors. And yeah, we just got along really well. And actually, to start this YouTube channel, it wasn't even supposed to be him. It was supposed to be me, Jason, and Sam. And Remy was just going to come and fish with us sometimes and just say hi and stuff. And then he just decided to go all chips in, get a GoPro, help us out with purchases and stuff like that, help us out with videos, of course, and recording. So yeah, he became a really good teammate. And I'm really happy that he came along for the ride. The HG Trout is a top 3 lure for me. They also work really well on white bass in my local lake. Oh, I want to catch white bass, Aaron. Dang. I've been saying that forever. I want to catch white bass so bad. I haven't caught any white bass since I lived in Minnesota. And that was, God, like 20 years ago or more at this point. It's been a while. Been a couple decades since I got into that. Sweet brother. Thanks, big fan, long time sub. Got to get us some dynamic lures for sure. Yeah, you really got to. And if you do get some HD Natural, okay, the natural trout pattern, the ghost cutthroat pattern, the HD brown pattern. Those are my 3 go-to. Those will kick the skunk out every time. Okay, get those. And if you're fishing the Colorado River, any of you guys, especially Matthew Romali, any of you guys that are coming to fish the Colorado River, you have to get the 9 Mile Goby J-Spec in your arsenal. You have to. All right. I am 100% catching a fish with that lure, and I'm in the teens now throwing it. The reason being that lure is so good, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The last electro surveying they did, there was an average of a 2 to 3 inch sculpin every 5 yards in the Colorado River. That's what those trout are getting super fat off of. They're hungry right now. That's a great meal for them. I can see why we're still catching fish with that 9 Mile Goby. Get the 9 Mile Goby if you can. You will get fish, especially right now with runoff of deeper water. It's great too because you'll find you got to have J-Spec and the HD because you're going to go out and you're going to be fishing. You'll be walking down river. You've been hitting pockets. You've been hitting seams. Then all of a sudden you're going to hit some deeper water and you're going to think, oh, I'm just going to go past that and find some more structure, find some more sweet spots. Don't ever sleep on the side current up here in the Colorado River, you guys. The side current house is huge, huge fish. That's what my dad's been catching all of his biggest fish on over the last couple of weeks. I love fishing side current. And if it's deeper, that's the great time to use the J-Spec. That current will bring it down a little bit more. And don't worry about just jerking it the whole time, okay? You can slow crank that jerk bait too, okay? I honestly think I've caught more fish slow cranking it up side current than I have jerk fishing it in any other situation when it comes to J-Spec 9 Mile Goby. So get that. Where am I? Sweet brother, though. While Cole was in Florida, I hit up Deckers, and boy, was it on. Oh, it's awesome. You guys have so much water I want to hit. I can't wait to start traveling again and getting around. Yeah, I sent it. I've got some dynamics in my arsenal right now, but you can always use more. Yeah, you can never have too many. You can never have too many. And then, like I said, after my uncle used that clown face one with the red face and the chartreuse body in the muddy water and catching fish, got to get that one too. We got a Western Slope local over here. I've seen you at the gaps before, but we haven't hit the water yet. Jerkbait Pro. I know you. I know who you are. Hold on. I know who you are. Yeah, I know who you are. I don't know if you want me to say your name or not, but I know who you are. Most definitely, man. We definitely got to get some lines out together. I think me and you have been talking back and forth off and on for quite a while now, so I would most definitely like to get some lines out with you sometime. Just let me know when. Within the next week, I'll be getting my computer. I'm not going to upload next week, though, because I'm still training and doing stuff, so the week after I'll start uploading again. But once I start getting in the groove in the mix again, definitely let me know, or I'll definitely let you know, and we'll definitely get some lines out somewhere. I don't care if it's rivers, lakes, wherever, but yeah, me and you are in the same spot. I've been wanting to fish with you for a while, too. If I'm not dangling some flies, I'm tossing some dynamics. Oh, Guggen, man, I need to get better at fly fishing. I'm waiting for the runoff to stop. I need to get one of you guys. Who in this chat right now that lives near me is good at fly fishing on the river? Okay. I love to self-teach myself everything. And I self-taught myself everything I know about fly fishing besides, the videos and stuff I watch too, of course. But I need somebody to show me how to fly fish on the rivers properly. I don't know what I'm doing. I've tried a lot. I haven't tried with the runoff right now, but before that I was trying a lot. I only got it on film once and I just can't get it down. I don't know. I'm clearly doing something wrong, but I would be very appreciative to make a video where one of you guys can show me how to stop being such a noob with this river fly fishing game. I feel like I got Stillwater pretty much down for the most part. I mean, there's obviously room for improvement always, but I feel like I got that down enough where I can catch good sized fish. I was catching some in the teens and stuff, high teens last year. So yeah, if anybody has any knowledge on that, I would be greatly appreciative. Yeah, I plan to hit the next tourney. Awesome, Ethan. I'd love to see you and Hayden up there again. I loved competing with you guys last time. Yeah, you guys got to come to the big one next year, though. Caught a white bass fly fishing on lunch today. They're feisty for their size. I can bet. I haven't caught a bass on a fly rod yet, but I'm going to try to do that at that camping spot with a catfish and smallmouth. I'm going to try to get some there. Smallmouth, I bet, would be super fun to fly. But I just got to make sure I don't have super small tippet on or something so I don't break off all the time. I actually used that ghost clown and slayed in that spot 2 minutes from my house on the Platte. That's good to know. Okay, so I'm just tripping, obviously. I need to use that more. I have all the gear, too. Awesome, man. Well, I mean, I can bring flies and stuff like that. Just tell me what I need to get, and I'll get it. And then you can just show me what I'm doing wrong, which is probably everything. But, it could be a fun day. I feel like I'm a pretty fast learner. Are there 9 Mile Gobies at Sportsman Warehouse or Cabela's? Anyone bad? I don't think so. And right now they're having Dynamic is having I guess you could call it a good problem with fulfilling orders because they're getting hit up by so many different companies, so many different Sportsman warehouses, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, all those types of places. So yeah, I've heard that the 9 mile goby has been a tough one to get, but I'm betting that Brian's working his butt off to make sure that we can get some more of those in stock soon. So sorry for those of you guys that haven't been able to get them, but if they're not in stock, they should be soon. Because that lure is just absurd. I think the second time I caught like my biggest trout ever. I mean, the second time I threw it. I'm primarily a fly fisher, so I have some experience and good tips. Well, anything would be good for that. Love the toilet bowl. Do you have any trips planned up there, bro? Sweet spot. Eris, I love the toilet bowl. We've actually never fished it when it's been warm out. The only time that we fished it about 4 times now total, twice on the channel, twice without. And it's always been in like the heart of winter. The reason being is because no one else is there. But yeah, every time we've gone is in the middle of winter, and it's usually like when we show up like negative degrees and there's no one else there all morning, and we love it that way. It's always a really fun time. We're still just slaying fish left and right, but I've never got up there super early on a warm day. So maybe I'll try to do that this summer or maybe toward fall. But yeah, I try to avoid that area because a couple of times that I have drove up there like late, like I was going to Rudeye, I've seen it to where there's literally a line of people out of the toilet bowl just like waiting to go fish it. So I don't want to do that. Royce 41, hey, welcome back, man. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping back in, I should say. And when Cole gets back, we're heading up to Eagle again, so we'll hit you up when we get it planned out for sure. Definitely let me know ahead of time for sure. I got basketball camps coming up and tournaments at the end of June. So at the end of June, I won't be doing probably any fishing with anybody or much fishing at all. But if you can let me know before or after that, I'm down. Boom. So what else has everybody been up to? I think we talked about tournaments. We got the big one coming up, the 30-hour this weekend. There's a smaller one that they usually do, and that usually is the next month or it's in the fall. And then me and Remy and Sam, we're going to think about seeing if we can find another team tournament, but we'll see. But do you guys know of any good, fun local tournaments that you wouldn't mind seeing me, Sam, and Remy showing up to and seeing if we can get some lines out? Any at all? We definitely wouldn't be opposed to making the trip. Whenever we go fishing, I'll have to have you try my streamer rod. My guess is you'll catch on fast because similar principles to fishing jerk baits apply. Yeah, I need to you sent me an email a long time ago, Aaron, about carp fishing, and I like saw it and I was going to read it, and I just never got around to replying to it. If there was anything in there about your streamer setup, then I'll just have to reread it. But if you could send me like what I need to get for like my line wise, like my fishing line, my fly fishing line, tippet or whatever I need to get, or you could just tell me here, like, what is your setup for streamer fishing? Because that's something that me and Remy like really think that we'd like a lot is streamer fishing. Remy actually spent a whole lot of money on streamers last year. And Aaron, you're gonna laugh at this. Any fly fisherman in this room is probably gonna laugh at us at this one, but we were using like our dry fly stuff, all our floating stuff. So when we're floating these streamers, it's like, why aren't these things going below like an inch? Like these things are so nothing's working. We throw it out there, let it sink, and retrieve it, and just float back up to the top again. We felt like idiots, and then we looked it up. It's like, yeah, we probably want some sinking line. That would probably help a little bit. So we felt like idiots after that one. Remy spent like a couple $100 on streamer flies, and we just couldn't figure it out. And come to know that we were using the wrong gear. So good times. I'm thinking of fishing at Harvey this weekend on the day I have off. Nice, man. I hope it goes well. I'm going to be heading down to the tournament on Friday. The tournament starts Saturday, goes until Sunday evening or late afternoon. So that's going to be my weekend. I'm going to be really busy and then taking Monday off to just relax. Sink tip is essential in my opinion. Larger rod, 7 or 8 weight. I like triple density sink tip, type 3, 5, or 7. I'm going to copy and paste that so I can look that up. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that a lot. Because like one thing I'm not a big fan of, and this is just me, I'm not a big fan of using indicators. I'm just not. Like I don't know why. I mean, I hate bobber fishing, so maybe that's why. But I just don't like looking at that bobber the whole time. But then I like dropper fishing. That's more exciting to me because I guess I could take the top fly too. But I don't know. Maybe if I catch some fish on the bobber there, maybe it'll work out better for me and I'll like it more. Any updates on the vid of your computer? Well, the vid's fine. I have all the footage still. My computer should be here next Monday or Tuesday. So once that comes in, I'm going to start editing like crazy. Hopefully I can give you guys a surprise and have an upload for next week's Thursday, but don't look forward to that because I got basketball training like crazy during that week. I'm helping the guys out, even though I coach girls, because they got tournaments coming up. So I'm going to be jumping into their practices as well. So by the very latest, everybody, the 15th of this month, I will have uploads again. Very earliest, the 10th, next Thursday. All right, that's when that'll be. Caught an awesome couple last weekend, 5 pounds, 20 plus inches. Jeez. Dude, that's awesome, man. I'd like to catch another 5 pounder. That couple I got was probably a little over 5, and it was about 23 inches, 24 that I caught at the river with that goby. So, I mean, that's a sweet fight, dude. That's awesome. But, hey, guys, it's been about 51 minutes. You guys are really awesome for hanging out in here. I really appreciate it. We have one more live stream to go. Okay, guys? Next Tuesday is going to be our last live stream until either the end of August or early September, or if we hit the 4K sub mark by the 25th of July, I'll have another live stream announcing the giveaway. Okay? Remember that, guys. If we get to 4,000 subs by the 25th of July, I'm going to have another big giveaway. Okay? If we get there, awesome. If we don't, then we'll do the next giveaway at 5,000 subs on the mark. Okay? But thank you guys for the tips on the fly fishing sink tip leaders. I definitely got to get some of those. But thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you again so much. Again, last live streams next week. I'll have the tournament stuff to talk to you guys about, and then hopefully I'll be uploading on that Thursday, if not the next Tuesday. But again, you guys are the best. Keep hitting that like button. Keep getting people to subscribe to the channel. I want to do more giveaways for you guys, all right? But until next Tuesday, Team C.O.F.F signing out, you guys. Take it easy. Catch some fish. And also, hope to see some of you guys at the tournament this weekend.